All right. Only boxing, boxing only. So, I meant to touch this on the last. It was like a 30-minute video, but I wanted to touch on this the subject. It's the call out subject. So, I just kind of want to educate the fans on what a call out looks like. So, all right. So, for instance, let's just get straight to the point. A lot of Errol Spence fans are saying that, not all, I said a lot of them are saying that he called out Terrence Crawford after he beat Ugas. Um, so let's just go over how our call out works. So let's take me for instance. Um, I'll call out. I got a brother named Chris, so I call out Chris for arm wrestling uh, competition, right? Chris says to me, um, "Okay, I'll get back at you. I'll get back at you later. I got some things to take care of. I got to go to work, and when I get back from work after I wash the dishes and all that shit, excuse me, after I wash the dishes and all that, and maybe shower or whatever, I'll come over to your place and we'll relax, we'll chill, and and then we can have that arm wrestling match, in front of our family, right? So then I say, okay, I'm looking forward to it. Everybody is looking forward. It's been like 3 days, right? Everybody's looking forward to it. Everybody wants to see who's stronger between me and my brother, right? Um, I was the one calling out Chris, right? Okay, let's. I don't know if how what I said before, but what I meant to say is I'm calling out Chris for an arm wrestling match, right? So, right, he has to do a few things, and then he'll get back with me, right? And I'm like, okay. So a lot of people are saying that he's scared, whatever, whatever. Whether he's scared or not does not make any difference at all. So now, the only thing that can make a call out void is is uh, um, is a withdrawal. So if I say, Chris, never mind, I don't want to arm wrestle you. Um, it doesn't matter to me anymore. I don't care. I'm moving on to something else, right? I'm moving on. I'm gonna arm wrestle somebody else. I don't necessarily want to arm wrestle you anymore. That's the only thing that can make a call out a void is if the caller outer withdraws their call out, makes an excuse why they can't do it, right? If the person who's doing the calling out doesn't do that, if that person um, doesn't withdraw their call out, then that means it's still on. That means they still called you out. You can't call somebody out back. You know what I'm saying? You can accept, right? You can accept the call out, or you can fucking leave it alone and deny it. You know what I'm saying? You can say, "Oh, I don't want none of that work. I don't want none of that action, none of that smoke." Whatever you want to say, you can reject it, right? You can reject it. So, oh, I'm sorry. That's the other way to make a call out void. It's rejecting. You can also, if you're being called out and you reject it, then that means that call out is off. You know what I'm saying? Now it's still going to mean something in the eyes of the people who are anticipating it, but or the action happening from the call out. It's going to mean something to them, maybe even to the person doing the call out if it's being rejected, or if it's withdrawn, then it's going to might mean something to the person who was called out. So either way it goes, that's how that works. Now, how a lot of the um, Errol Spence fans, how a lot of them are looking at this as um, Crawford never called Errol Spence out, you know, and but he did quite a few times. Saying he wanted to fight him several different times, calling him out all kind of different ways. So me myself, I remember about 4 pieces of video evidence where Terrence Crawford had called Errol Spence out. Now I didn't make a big deal out of any of this because I just figured that Errol Spence wasn't ready to fight him for whatever. He was busy. getting ready to fight other people and taking the easy route, as he would say it, whatever that means. Um, he was taking whatever route he needed to in order to, you know, get back at him. So when Errol Spence said that now Terrence Crawford is next, that's not a call out. That's not a call out because he was already called out. You can't call somebody back out. Somebody call you out and you can't do it right then. You know what I'm saying? And then now you're gonna call him out. It was never void. It was still on and popping. Everything was still on and popping. So you can't say Errol Spence called him out and then Terrence Crawford curved and tucked his tail. Like, that doesn't make any sense. First of all, I don't think any guy would do that. Or either one of these guys would do that. Just to be honest with you, I don't think Errol Spence would curve and tuck his tail, and I really don't see Terrence Crawford ever doing anything like that. I just don't see it in his character. You know what I'm saying? Now, the length of time it took for Errol Spence to even acknowledge that Terrence Crawford was calling him out, and his reluctancy to speak about it in interviews, and now that's weird to me. But I still won't call him a cur. But it's a little bit weird to me. I don't have enough evidence to call him a cur, but it's leaning in that direction. You understand what I'm saying? I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to diss Errol Spence at all. I'm just saying that I believe he was less likely to take the fight than Terrence Crawford would be. Terrence Crawford has been wanting this fight, and I think it's obvious that he's been wanting this fight. Now, I think the Errol Spence crazies, I think they twist a lot of this stuff, just kind of how like they twist the resume thing and what that really means, and who broke who for who to beat and all that and all this and all that. Like, that doesn't even make enough difference in the fight, the actual fight. They gotta fight it out. You can't speak it out. They gotta fight. So if you ask me, I still say, well, I don't fucking know who's gonna win the fight. All I really do know is that they gotta fight it out. And I know who I believe is gonna win. I believe Terrence Crawford is going to stop Errol Spence. Period. I don't mean I don't like Errol Spence. It just means I think he's gonna stop him. So, yeah, I have a big deal of respect for Errol Spence, and the things I don't know is what his team had planned for that fight, so I can't really just hammer on Errol Spence. Maybe he was just following orders and thought that's what it was. His best interests was to listen to Al Heyman or whatever team he has behind him and telling him that this is the route we're going to take right now. Apparently, that's what he was doing, and apparently, if you judge by his words, his own words, that he had to tell his folks that he didn't want to fight anyone else. He only wanted to fight Terrence. And I don't care what y'all saying. Y'all don't believe in me or something? You know, I only want Terrence next. I'm not trying to wait him out, age him or nothing like that. I'm trying to fight him. I'm trying to beat him. And I don't want none of his excuses or nothing like that. I want to beat him at his best. That's what I think. I think that he did that. Because judging from his words that he had on what took so long for the fight to be made, and all that, with the words he said around that, he didn't dare give away anything, because I think that might have been not the smartest thing to do, especially in his situation. I think the smartest thing for him to do is to do exactly what he did and listen until he saw, like, okay, this is going to get me looked at funny. This is going to make people look at me like I'm a coward. So I'm not going to take this route. I want him right now. And I think that's the concessions that he claims to make, or we're giving him more money. It was probably a uneven split, and Terrence didn't like it, so he called himself making concessions. But that's not really making concessions. The split is the split. Whatever split you make is the split you make. You see what I'm saying? Now, making concessions is whatever the rightful split is. And the fighter is still like, and your opponent is still like, nah, I need more. And he agreed to a split, but he's like, I need more, right? And then he says, okay, well, I'll give you this. Now, he didn't specify what the split was, or what the concessions that they made. the exact concessions that they made. So he left it up to subject. You know, he left it subjective. So I make my own mind, judging from what everybody's doing, and I'm not going to be unfair to anyone. I'm just going to judge from what has been happening and whose characteristics is doing what at what time and why. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add in the variables, and I'm gonna do it like that. So, yeah. But I'm not gonna lie to nobody. Um, I think both guys are tremendous guys, man. I think I respect that they both got kids. Um, I respect that they're both fathers, absolutely. I respect that they play an active role in their kids' life as far as I've been able to tell. Play an active role in their kids' lives. So, you know, the kids absolutely seem to absolutely love them. And yeah, I said it. So I want to see the fight, how it goes down. Uh, yeah, the call out situation, y'all. That's I think these Errol Spence, crazy Errol Spence fans. I think they are, and I've seen some crazy Terrence Crawford fans as well. I just don't think it's as an extreme of a case as the Errol Spence side of things. It's an extreme case. Like, these guys will kill for him. It seems like it's crazy. They get so emotional when you start. If you have anything that goes against what they want to happen, not even what they believe, because I think they know that this fight is going to be a big deal. But I think they want to believe that Errol Spence is just this tank, indestructible tank who don't get hurt at all, and he's just a monster. He goes in there, they give him way more power than he actually has. There's plenty of markers pointing to Terrence Crawford winning this fight, and there's plenty of markers that that I think that Errol Spence, even the crazy ones, Errol Spence fans really don't necessarily believe wholeheartedly that their hero Errol Spence is going to have a big problem with Terrence Crawford. Now, do I know this stuff for a fact? No, I don't know any of this for a fact. I've never seen the fight happen, for one. Two, I'm not God, you know, and I don't have any of those type of predicting the future powers, you see. So all I am is a man who thinks fairly well, and who's honest about his opinion, and that's it. That's it. Now, I don't know how emotional people want to get here, but it's pointless with me. Getting emotional is pointless with me because I have none about this subject. So I'm not emotionally tied to any of these guys. So yeah, the call out situation, Terrence, I think, is the guy who initiated any calling out at all. Terrence Crawford initiated that. So I just wanted to make that clear. Who made what happen and why? I think this is not a situation like the Floyd Mayweather Pacquiao situation where Floyd was seemed like he was ducking for a long time, and Pacquiao was the aggressor. When really, Pacquiao didn't want to take the blood and urine test. Now, I'm not saying that he should have just took the $50 or $50 million and what Floyd offered, and that's it. I'm just saying he outright refused to take the blood and urine test quite a few times, and I think it made excuses for it. Just stupid excuses, if you ask me. But either way, I think something's weird with that. Something was funny with that. So, and I can understand saying, I'm not taking the $50 million. I'm gonna take, you know what I'm saying, a decent chunk of what's to be made. I want to know what's going on. I could respect that, but to completely deny it and say, oh, and you're not doing any blood and urine test, Olympic style blood and urine testing, then, you know, that's a little suspect right there. Yeah, because those are really the only tests that can prove whether you've been cheated or not. And I think there's loopholes there too. Anyway, so either way it goes, my point was that calling someone out cannot be void because you would like it to be void. Because the Errol Spence fans want Terrence Crawford's call outs to be void. You can't make those void. Now, and remember, you're not Errol Spence. You don't know him. You're not him. You can't make decisions for him, and listening to him and repeating what he says does not make you Errol Spence. So I don't have a problem with not realizing I'm Errol Spence, or not realizing that I'm not Crawford, because I know for a fact that I'm not these guys, and I don't try to defend them with my life, and I don't try to make excuses for these guys. If they make a mistake or they have a bad habit, then I really don't care who wins the fight. Just to be completely honest, I really do not care. Now, only thing I'm interested in right now, and it's kind of interesting, is because I picked someone to fight to win the fight. Now, I'll be comfortable not picking anyone and just watching the fight, and not picking anyone to win. I'll be comfortable doing that because I really don't care. I like both guys. I don't want to get drug into picking some kind of weird side, like this is a gang or something like that. That's stupid to me, and just childish, pointless, weird, and just altogether going down the wrong path, if you ask me. Yeah. So something's weird about that, and it ain't right. So yeah, I stray far away from that. I stay right here as a spectator, an analyst of some sort. Now, I don't work for any place professionally as far as boxing analyst goes. I've definitely been in the ring before, but I have never had a professional or an amateur career. Now, when I started participating in boxing, I was good talent. So now I started late. I started at 19, and I stayed in it for a few years. So I certainly wish I would have took it further. That's something I could do. I could box. Power and fast. I box very well. I can train you how to box too. So yeah, I know about boxing. I cannot respect anyone who doesn't look at boxing through a realistic lens. All right, that's it. Only boxing only. I'll see y'all next time.